This is a demonstration of how CAMS works. CAMS stands for Crisis Alert Management System. It's a system that is operated by states, provinces, and governments to resolve emergency situations like COVID-19, health, security, fire, lack of palliatives and resources, and other types of emergencies. People that need these emergencies resolved can reach out via an app, can reach out via a phone call, and can reach out via USSD. Um, no matter where the person is in an urban or rural community, the person can reach out effectively and get swift response. CAMS works in real time, and it also interfaces with other agencies and organizations that can resolve these emergencies. Um, these organizations and agencies are hospitals, police, fire services, NGOs, local government areas, volunteers, and they have their own interface to communicate back and forth with the states, with the states or government central command. So this is the states or government central command interface we're looking at, and I'm going to log in and demonstrate how this works. So like I said before, people can reach out via USSD, phone call, or via an app. So I'm going to demonstrate each of those ways people can reach out. So you cannot see my phone right now, but I'm going to send a USSD code. So all the person has to do is, once the person has that USSD code, they have to type it, press the call button. Doesn't matter what type of phone they're using. It's whether it's a feature phone, a smartphone, any type of phone. They just need to have a phone. So once they dial in that USSD code, you will see what happens on the screen. Okay, so that USSD code was just tapped and the person's phone number came in. So I, as the operator from this central command, what I will do is I will tap on this and collect the person's details. I would call the person rather and collect the person's details. So while on the phone with the person, I'll say something like, "What's your name?" And the person will tell me, "Okay, my name is Dada Timothy." Address, what's your address? I'm just going to use Kufana here, as I can see on the screen. Kufana. So let's say that's what the person says he is, and usually the person will give more details like the street numbers to lock the person's location in properly. Um, the person will also say, okay, what's the reason for the emergency? If it's COVID-19, we'll be collecting all this information, like whether the person has a fever, and this is all while the person is on the phone with the operator. So, have you been in contact with the COVID-19 patients? Have you traveled recently? Have you visited a COVID-19 health facility? Do you live alone? Things like that. I'm just going to go with a health emergency here. If it's a health emergency, I just have to select health, and let's say the person is female, and I'm going to submit. And what's going to happen is going to lock in the person's details and where the person is, and that sound will be made all across operators' computers. So all operators know that a new emergency has come in. So I, as the operator, I need to take charge of this emergency by tapping this button, monitor. So once I do that, this will change to red, which means I have taken charge. I am monitoring it. So I need to get hospitals around this person's location alerted to this person's needs. So it's going to be a situation where the person either goes to the hospital, or the hospital, if the hospital is able to, they can send someone to the person's location. The operator will have to determine how that will go down. So I'm just going to tap this button, help entities, which will show me all the help entities, police stations, fire stations. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. And I'm going to zoom out. So that is Kaduna, which is the area the person is monitoring. And it shows a bunch of help entities around the person's location. help entities around the person's location. So I'm just going to filter down to hospitals and do away with the rest. So hospitals are in green. This is the closest hospital to the person's location. But I will probably prefer I'll probably prefer a healthcare center. Okay, so this is a healthcare center, primary healthcare DOCA. So I need to, like I said, web entities have their own interface. So this hospital here will have an interface like this, a dashboard like this, where they receive emergencies. And I'm going to send this emergency details to this hospital, telling them, hey, go attend to this person's needs. He has a health challenge. So I'm just going to I could also see the distance between the help entity and the emergency. So it says 12 minutes, 20.2 kilometers. Okay. Um, so I can send those details to the help entity. So it says the emergency details were successfully sent to primary healthcare DOCA. Um, so once the hospital has resolved the emergency, they can let me know via chat. There's chat functionality here. They can also let me know via a phone call um, that the emergency has been resolved. So once that happens, I tap on this. It has been resolved, yes. So I have basically archived that emergency. So it says the emergency was successfully marked as resolved and archived. So that's it. It has been resolved. I've taken care of it. In a situation where the person calls in, I will just tap on that button, add the emergency manually, collect the person's name, same way, phone number, address, the reason for the emergency, the type, change to phone, and the person's gender, and submit, same thing. I'm just going to do a demonstration with the app as well. You will not be able to see the app, but you will see that the emergency details from the app will appear here once the person reaches out via an app. So I'm just going to do a fire. So it came in right away, immediately. It came in right away. So I'm going to just check the details of this emergency. It says fire, reason for emergency, fire, the person's address. I'm in Lagos at the moment. This should not allow people outside the operator's monitoring zone to send in emergencies, but because this is a demonstration, we will allow that. Now, this is an app emergency. And that means the person reached out via an app. So same process. I look at it, okay, fire. I need to know, okay, what are the help entities around this person's location? Rather, I need to monitor the emergency first. So it's locked in, I'm monitoring it. What are the help entities around this person's location? A bunch of them. I need to zoom in. There's just so many. It probably pulls about 20 closest emergencies for each emergency. It probably pulls about 12 entities. So I'm going to filter this down to just fire stations. So I need a fire station. Beautiful. There's so many fire stations around this person. I'm just going to pick that one. That one seems very close. What's the distance? It says 8 minutes, 1.7 kilometers. Okay. Same thing. Send the details to the help entity. And the emergency details were successfully sent to Abeson Estate Fire Station. So those details have been sent to the fire station. When I get an alert that it has been resolved, I will resolve this emergency like I have done the rest. So it has been resolved. And okay, so what is showing here is actually one of these emergencies. One of these other emergencies. So that's how those three work: the USSD, the phone, and the app. It's very similar. It's very straightforward. What else can I do? I can view emergencies. Okay, this is emergencies. There are no emergencies being monitored. I can just view operators. That is me. That's another operator. I can view statistics for the day. We have had health cases, 3, 5 cases, 1, 1, 1 each. In the last 7 days, these are the numbers. Health, COVID-19, security. In the last 31 days as well, we can see what have been the numbers. And the whole system is quite customizable. It's customizable to a state's needs, to a region's needs, to a country's needs. Very, very customizable. So that's the end of this demonstration. What else? Okay, there's the legend. The legend shows you what the icons on the map mean. What the icons on the map mean. So that's how the central command interface for states, countries or provinces work. Thank you. By the way, it could also be used on a local government area level. It can be used on that level as well.